Hello lovelies, and welcome to today's video. I have just had a ton of fun creating two tichel looks, this beautiful eye look, just amazing, showing you how to do a perfect winged liner, all the kind of wonderful things that I just love to do. I've got crazy jewelry on, which I'll talk about, and I really hope that you stick around to learn all about how we did this look. I'm just going to start off by telling you a little bit about today's theme. So we're going to be continuing a little series about the Zodiac, which has been so much fun to film and so much fun to research and all that sort of thing. So we are in Aquarius and in the month of Shevat, which is such a beautiful month. So I really wanted to do this video now because when this is going to go up, it'll have just been my Hebrew birthday, and I really wanted to incorporate that all in this week. So Aquarians are associated with light blues, silvers, and turquoise, aquamarine kind of shades, according to good old Google. They're said to be progressive, original, independent, and humanitarian. A little bit about the month of Shevat. Now, this is a really beautiful month because it has the wonderful, wonderful day Tu B'Shvat. So it's a day where we really celebrate the birthday for trees. Trees are so important to us, aside from the fact that they make our air that we breathe and grow the food that we eat, and it's just absolutely essential to the world. The 15th of Shevat is not just the new year for trees or the birthday for trees. It's also an opportunity for us to reflect on how everything works and how we work. We commemorate it by eating different fruits and different grains and things like that. What I really treasure about all of this is that we can reflect on the tree's primary components. The roots that anchor it and supply nutrients and water to the trunk, branches and leaves which comprise its sort of body, and then you've got the seeds and the fruit, which is just the circle of life, isn't it? The roots represent our faith, a source of nutrients and perseverance. The trunk and branches are the body of our spiritual lives, our intellectual, our emotional and practical achievements. And the fruit is our power, because the fruits and seeds is how we go on. It's how we leave our legacy. It's how we do anything. It's kind of the meaning of it all. How we connect to each other, how we bring each other up. If you're interested to learn a little bit more about Shevat, there is an amazing article on Chabad.org, which I'll link below, which is just so interesting. Right, now stick around and we'll do this beautiful look. Blue, or turquoise, is the theme of the day. So I've got some beads on, I've got a bracelet on, I've got earrings to match, and my cute little ring. And these are all things I've collected over the years. This is not stuff I wear often at all. In fact, I don't think I've ever worn this bracelet. It was a gift. You know, it's just, these are not my go-to colors. But it's a fun look. We're going to start with a quick tichel look. I've got an uneven one here, and I'm just going to tie at the back. It's a very slippery fabric. It's like a chiffon type thing. And it's kind of got good static, but it's a bit slippery to start with. I've got a non-slip headband in there somewhere too, but no shapers or anything like that underneath. Just my hair in a bun out the back and being held together with a scrunchie, no pins or anything like that. So, first bit down. The next thing I want to incorporate is this beautiful, it's a square scarf. Look at this gorgeous pattern on it. Just absolutely royal. Gorgeous. Just rolled it up so that I can use this thick panel. That on. It's another slippery one, so I'm going to hold it nice and tight and tie it at the back. And tuck all of that away at the end. Just fix it up so that it's even, and voila. Now, if it's really slippery fabric on really slippery fabric, sometimes what you can do is you can take something like these pins and slip them into your non-slip headband. It won't hurt your head because you've got that velvet protecting you. I actually think I'll be okay. So I'll show you how I'm going to make it hold. So I'm going to go back with my first scarf and really flatten it out. So just play with it until it's flat. Okay, nice and tight, and just tying it off. I definitely want this blue bit to be shown, otherwise it won't make sense. And then I'm going to tie another knot underneath. And I'm going to start tucking everything away. Just like that. And then with this beautiful fluffy bit, that's just going to go at the top. Okay, here I will need to use a pin because it's really heavy and it's not the best fabric for this sort of thing. But I don't have anything else so beautiful and vibrant. So I'm just going to use one little pin. Ideally, you'd want a blue pin or something that's going to sort of not be too visible. I'm just going to tuck it through this scarf, then through this scarf, and then back again, like that. and I can't actually feel it against my head at all. It's just securing these two together. You can also use a safety pin, you can also use a brooch, whatever you kind of want there. Okay, so our quick little tickle for our Aquarius look is done, and it's kind of not showing up on the camera, but the kind of greenish tone, or the aquamarine tone of this turquoise here, is really being reflected up here in the darker tichel, and the vibrant blue is just speaking to me. It's really, really beautiful. Okay, so turquoise, aquamarine, vibrant blue. That is the name of the game for Aquarius. To start with, I'm going to just take a really beautiful fluffy brush, nice and clean, and I'm going to take my amethyst palette. I know that sounds like a contraindication there, but I'm going to just tap in a little bit into this neutral color. It's fairly dark comparing to my skin, so it gives me that beautiful base shadow that I will so need against the bright colors I'm about to use. Just like that. The other thing I have to mention is I haven't really had to use any primers for my quick looks with this amethyst palette. It does not require priming the eyes at all. So that's another really handy thing, that if I put it on first, it's kind of also priming for me, or going to hold onto the skin for me. The other thing is it's nice and natural, so I'm quite comfortable with it being in direct contact with my skin. So for the next color, I'm going to jump right into a flat brush. I'm going to definitely have some misting spray on it, because the colors I'm about to use definitely need priming. Yeah. Look at that beautiful peacock blue that's just going so well with everything that I've got on. And I'm just going to turn this around a little bit so I can see myself right in the middle, would you believe? Okay, so this looks ridiculous, I know. All a work in progress. We're going to pull out the little crease brush. Any small crease brush will do. You can use a brush like this, a little thick pencil brush, or anything else that's got a dense and very tapered kind of shape, because we're going to go for a nice dark color next. I'm going to go for like a navy. I'll show you. Something like that. It's a very bright, but it's got a navy kind of hue. So it's got that royal blue quality to it, but it leans towards the purple like navy does. Okay, and just in the outer V. So that's how we've got our shape. I had to work really hard to achieve the color intensity that I needed for that blue outer wing, but that's what we had to do to get it. So basically I had to dip in a few times, and I had to tap on the color before I started blending. Otherwise it was just way too diffuse and it wasn't giving me any really color payoff. Now that took a little while to achieve, because that color just needed so much work. It's got a slight glitter to it. It doesn't translate onto the eye. It's very much a matte with just a few specks through it. So I knew that that was going to happen. I do recommend a matte when you're going to use something that's going to give you that shadow. Otherwise it's not going to really give you a shadow. It's just going to be too shimmery. You can sometimes get away with it, but especially with such a bright blue, I thought it was safer to do it this way. I'm going to take another crease brush, the exact same one but a clean one, and I'm just going to jump into the Ether Beauty palette, mostly because that color took so much work. I had to tap it on, really build it up, blend it out, then do another layer, fill in the patches, blend it out. And I've still got this kind of, I don't know, I'm just not so happy with that particular shadow performance, but the color is beautiful. The actual color itself is gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the color Pisces. Actually, there's no Aquarius in this palette, so we're just going to borrow next month Pisces. It's a beautiful aubergine, smoky kind of purple, so maybe like a burnt aubergine. And I'm just going to go into the actual crease itself only. Oh my goodness, talk about quality. So very light tap into the palette, and then very light small circles along the crease, and effortless, absolutely effortless. Just another tap and we'll do the other eye. How much nicer is that now with that beautiful depth? The patchiness is gone, and I've got a beautiful just warmth or depth or smoke, or I'm not even sure what it is, but just a finished look with that beautiful Pisces color. And I really wish that gorgeous blue just did it on its own, but it wasn't gonna. So we just let the amethyst palette help us out yet again. So I've been putting my brushes straight into some water with Thieves dish soap in it, because these colors stain so much. So that's just been soaking off. I'm just going to use a little cotton round to clean it off. It's not my preference by far. I much prefer to leave them in the water, in the soap, for a little bit longer, and then give them a good natural dry on a towel, and then I pat them off and let them kind of just come to their final drying just in a natural state. So just flick off any excess liquid. I'm going to go back into my misting spray. I've actually put a new lid on my misting spray because I don't know what happened. I think it's from all the travel, but my spray portion of my misting spray stopped spraying. It was just kind of fizzing out kind of little bits of the product, and that was kind of wasteful. So I've just used a generic bottle, just one of these, taken the lid off and attached it to that. So with my flat brush, I'm going to go to a true turquoise color, a very vibrant one though. So something like that. So it's still very bright, very deep color. I'm going to kind of work on a gradient kind of look, and I'm just going to tap it on, or kind of tap and drag just next to where we did that beautiful peacock blue. Just like that. So I'm going to go back into my crease brush that has a little bit of that amethyst on it. It's got just a nice little bit of dark shadow on it. It's not really paying off too much anymore because we used it very, very generously. And I'm going to dip it into this really, really bright kind of greeny aquamarine. I don't mind that it had a bit of dark color on it because look at the vibrancy here. Tap off the excess and just tap into the inner corner. Okay, so that's how it looks with that beautiful graduated kind of look. I've been calling this an ombre, kind of is. So it's just about going from dark to light or deep to bright. And when you have just a tiny little bit of product left, and remember this brush was a little bit covered in that amethyst as well, very, very lightly, I'm talking feathery, feathery strokes, just running it over the very top edge of that dark color, just like that. See how that just really, really fades it out and just gives it a much softer finish. You can also do that with a clean, fluffy brush. That'll also work. But this is just a really fun way to just give it that extra bit of hint of blue. Next, I'm going to do what I feel is so obvious, and that is to do a beautiful, bright liner. I'm going to use a beautiful navy liquid line to give this look a bit of a completed shape and give that beautiful cat eye the attention it deserves. Now, I have been approached again about how to do the cat eye, so I'm going to kind of zoom in here and give you a bit of a step-by-step instruction again. I've done this a few times, but I think it's just not for everyone. It's not so easy. It really definitely isn't so easy, so I'll just do it nice and slow so you can copy me at home. Just put on some extra light as well so that it's really, really visible. And make sure you've turned it up to the maximum quality that you can on your YouTube settings. I think that, well, at least for me, the automatic quality that pops up is actually quite low. You can definitely put it up to more of an HD kind of quality. Okay, so we've got our navy liner. And we're just going to start with the inner corner. So just kind of feathery strokes, very, very lightly. Okay, until we've sort of covered our iris. So that'll give you about 2/3 of your eye typically. Then just holding onto the tail of the brow, because that's where you want to finish. And we're going to just dot it out first. So I want quite an extreme wing today. So I'm just going to kind of mark it out there. It's not so obvious because it's blue on blue, which is exactly the whole point of using this exact liner. But you can still see that there. Okay, then I'm just going to connect the two. There we go. We've got it just filled it in a little bit so that there's no gaps there with the lashes. So where the lashes stop, that's where my blue stops, and then the rest of it's just a straight line going from the edge of the eye up. Now that's fine, you can definitely just leave it there. I like to connect my bottom lashes up too, but I'm going to do that with a different color today. But if you weren't, you would have to just literally find the edge of your eye, that very, very corner, and drag it up straight into that straight line. So it's like you've got a straight line going from the bottom lash line all the way out to your wing. Today I'm going to be using my Pupa number 80 pencil because it's gorgeous and it needs a bit of a sharpen, so this is going to be a little bit challenging, but basically it's just got this gorgeous kind of dusty finish to it. It's just divine to use, and we're just going to go exactly where we went with that lower lash line liquid line. Just feathery again. It's like you're using a brush almost. Just really dusting over the lashes. Okay, so definitely not all the way, but just to meet up with the with that wing. If it's too intense, or if you don't like how the thickness of it or anything about it and you need to correct it, just take a little flat brush like this. I actually like what I've done, but just for the demonstration, just go over it very lightly again and just spread it out, because most pencils will have a dust kind of or an eyeshadow kind of finish to them. Just like that. Pretty. Something a little extra. I'm going to use this cobalt blue liquid liner. I'm just going to fill in the gap between the pencil and the liner with a beautiful just flick of blue. It's so pretty. and it's just something really extra, which I think suits Aquarius really well. Okay, I think the only thing that makes sense now is a purple lipstick. So let's put on some plum just to really give this look its final kick. In fact, this color is called Frosted Grape, actually, not plum, but it is a plumish kind of purple color with a bit of a pink hue. Okay, so that's the finished look with a bit more bronzer and contour on just to make it a little bit more bright, and mascara and all that sort of wonderful thing. So I hope you enjoyed this really, really fun look. It's so bright and so vibrant. I just love it. I absolutely love the way the tichel turned out. It is a very, very tough one to do because the fabric just slips and slides and slides and slips. I'm just going to show you one more tichel look before we finish because this is really a lot and it might not be for everyone, and it is a bit of an advanced kind of thing because it will slip and slide if you're not someone who ties often, likes a challenge. So I'm going to use this beautiful square satin scarf, and I've just folded it like this so you can get the most out of the size of the fabric. If I fold it straight in half, it may be just a little bit too small. So it's facing this way to me. I'm just going to slide it down so that this top edge is going to be at the back of my neck. Okay, so I've got this kind of arrangement here. I'm just going to put a knot at the top of the head. You'll be able to tie another one at the back. If for whatever reason it won't reach the back of your head, just adjust this bit here. Move it back or forth until you get enough circumference to manage it. Now with this bit, I'm going to give it a nice old twist. And it's going to go back under the knot that we did originally. The reason I gave it a twist is because look at that beautiful ruching it created, and it's just such a simple, it's really good for weather like today. It is 40 degrees out today in Melbourne, so I'm really excited to be wearing a tichel that is more practical than having even hair or any other kind of cover, because it's just going to keep me cool, it's going to keep everything off my neck, which is really, really important, and it's going to keep everything neat. Look how beautiful just the simple kind of deeper colors look against this makeup as well. Let's just have a look. All right, my lovelies, thank you for coming along on this wonderful journey with me. It is so, so great to have you here. I hope that you enjoyed this video and this look. To see more looks and more stuff about just everyday life, please find me on Instagram or Facebook, and there's lots of stuff going on there. If you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe. There's nothing to it, just hit the button. It's always so much fun and so rewarding to see the numbers grow. What did you think of this really bright look, and which tichel do you prefer? Maybe comment down below. Wherever you are around the world, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!